Yo, what's going on YouTube? And welcome back to Goal Line Hockey. It's your boy Kevin Forte. We are taking a look today at the latest on the Buffalo Sabres. Guys, they can't just shut up, can they, right? We'll be taking a look at the Buffalo Sabres in this video. So let's get right into it, guys. So according to Darren Dreger, he recently reported something a couple of weeks back saying Darren Dreger speculates that forward Jack Eichel may not be playing with the Sabres next season, and he hints that he has heard the Kings have interest in Jack Eichel. Now, we're going to do a little fun with this. What would be a mock trade from the LA Kings? The Kings have a lot of prospects, so what would be the price? Now, if it's what we heard from the Buffalo Sabres back in the day, it was for either first-round picks or, former first-round picks. Could we see the combination of the next 2 years of first-round picks from LA? Sounds a little bit pricey, right? Or what you do, something like this, right? Arthur Kaliev, Alex Turcotte, this year's first-round pick, and maybe one of those defensemen that is a former first-round pick. And maybe you do that. Now that sucks, right? It does seem like something Buffalo maybe doesn't want to do, or even for the LA Kings for that matter. But if that's the price tag, that still seems high. Alex Turcotte could be a top 6 center, right? You've got Quinton Byfield and Turcotte. Why even make the move? And now you move out Kaliev and your first round pick this year. Seems a little bit high, but if the LA Kings are really serious, that could be an offer that we see get thrown out there. But again, the LA Kings, that's the team that we're hearing now. It's the New York Rangers and the LA Kings. And we're going to see New York and LA battle it out once again for another player, another championship. Seems like they're fighting for Jack Eichel at this point right now. So moving on, we heard a report from John Vogel. Said that the Buffalo Sabres forward Sam Reinhart's trade stock was very high before the trade deadline, and there's been lots of interest in him. So maybe we see that move get done, but he is an RFA this offseason with arbitration rights. So maybe we see an offer sheet get thrown out there. Maybe, just maybe, right? Maybe we see that happen. So I think Sam Reinhart would be an interesting option here for teams around the league. And I specifically look at teams like maybe the New York Rangers. If they don't get Jack Eichel, I think Sam Reinhart would be a great consolation prize and probably come in at a lot cheaper of a price tag than a said Jack Eichel. Another team like the Calgary Flames, who just, I think they're another team that could be in on Reinhart. They had Max Reinhart back in the day. And Sam Reinhart, right? Why not? So I think Sam Reinhart could be a good fit there in Calgary. Again, the LA Kings, I think could be a good fit. The Dallas Stars may be a team, kind of a dark horse in that picture, but they could look at a guy like Sam Reinhart as well. So I think Sam Reinhart will definitely have plenty of teams looking for his services this offseason. Maybe even the Boston Bruins, right? If they can't re-sign Taylor Hall, maybe they look at Sam Reinhart. So I think that would be interesting as well. And now we're going to get into some maybe frustrating stuff here for the Buffalo Sabres. So, according to Brian Lawton, again, this is Brian Lawton. Some people love him, some people hate him. The Buffalo Sabres were offered a first-round pick at the trade deadline for Taylor Hall. However, it would have cost them millions of dollars. So, what does that mean? What that likely means, they would have been taking a contract that they didn't want to take. Now, this takes me back to the New York Islanders. It always does. Maybe it has nothing to do with the Islanders. But for me, it does. Now, remember, the Islanders had a trade in place with the Buffalo Sabres for Taylor Hall to go to the New York Islanders. Now, supposedly, Taylor Hall didn't want to go to the Islanders. That was part of the situation. But there's also the other part that maybe ownership didn't like the idea of taking on money. And the Islanders may have been looking to unload, I don't know, maybe Andrew Ladd, Leo Komarov, Cal Clutterbuck's contracts in exchange for a first round, or in exchange for Taylor Hall. Right, so let's just say this scenario. So Taylor Hall goes to the New York Islanders for the Islanders' first round pick this year, and probably a prospect, maybe Otto Koivula or Kiefer Bellows, or maybe it was, a guy like Mason Jobst, who they ended up getting from the New Jersey Devils ended up acquiring. So a first and Mason Jobst, right? And maybe a contract like Cal Clutterbuck or Komarov, but they were able to get that first round pick for Taylor Hall. Buffalo didn't want to take the salary. And this shows me two things from Buffalo. One, the Buffalo Sabres don't see themselves as a contender going into next year. They are looking long-term to move out salary. That's the first thing. And two, it's a time to take a look at the brain of this Buffalo Sabres team, and that is the upper management, ownership, Pagulas. They don't want to spend money. So, again, I don't necessarily think it's a bad thing. I think it's kind of a cheat code of getting draft picks is by using money. We saw the Sharks do this. We saw the Senators do this. We saw other teams around the league do this at the deadline to maybe retain salary to get a deal done. Detroit did it as well. Not all general managers are going to do that. You can't hold GMs to the gun because of that. But with where Buffalo is with the desperation, you would think they would want to win. And the problem is too many GMs and owners are doing this around the league where it's really becoming a detriment to the Buffalo Sabres for not taking on contracts and money in order to gain draft picks. And the Buffalo Sabres didn't want to do that. I'm not saying it was the New York Islanders that were that team, but it seems very legitimate that could have been an issue, especially with the Islanders' cap space. We knew Lou Lamoriello wanted to make sure that the Devils retained half the salary on Zajac and Palmieri, and it ended up costing them less. So, I don't know. Interesting to see how that worked out. But Taylor Hall did become a Boston Bruin. He's doing well with the Bruins, so Bruins fans don't seem to be too disappointed, but they maybe could have gotten more from the New York Islanders. So, guys, let me know what you think in the comment section down below. What do you think of this situation with Taylor Hall, Jack Eichel, Sam Reinhart? Out of those two guys, Jack Eichel and Sam Reinhart, which one, or if any of them, will be on the Buffalo Sabres to start next season in the 2021-2022 NHL season? Let me know in the comment section down below. Guys, if you like what we're doing here at Goal Line Hockey, want to see the latest news around the NHL, you guys know what to do. Make sure to give this video a big thumbs up and an even bigger subscribe down below. Guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.